everybody, Miss Holladay here. I'm excited to read two fairy tales to you guys today. Sending big virtual hugs to all of my sweet students. I miss you guys so much. I didn't get to say goodbye at school, and that makes my heart a little bit sad, but we will see each other soon enough. So in the meantime, enjoy these stories. All right, the first story I'm going to read is The Three Bears by Paul Galdone. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house of their own in the woods. One of them was a little wee bear, one was a middle-sized bear, and the other was a great big bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge. The little wee bear had a little wee bowl. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bowl. And the great big bear had a great big bowl. They each had a chair to sit in. The little wee bear had a little wee chair. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized chair. And the great big bear had a great big chair. And they each had a bed to sleep in. The little wee bear had a little wee bed. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized bed. And the great big bear had a great big bed. One morning, the three bears made porridge for breakfast and poured it into their bowls. But it was too hot to eat, so they decided to go for a walk in the woods until it cooled. While the three bears were walking, a little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. First, she looked in the window, and then she peeked through the keyhole. Of course, there was nobody inside. Goldilocks turned the handle of the door. The door was not locked because the three bears were trusting bears. They did no one any harm and never thought that anyone would harm them. So Goldilocks opened the door and went right in. There was the porridge on the table. It smelled very, very good. Goldilocks didn't stop to think whose porridge it was. She went straight to it. First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. Then she tasted the porridge of the little wee bear. It was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks went into the parlor to see what else she could find. There were three chairs. First, she sat down in the chair of the great big bear, but it was too hard. Then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. Then she sat down in the chair of the little wee bear, and it was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the bottom of the chair fell out. Down she went plump onto the floor. Goldilocks went into the bedroom where the three bears slept. First, she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but it was too high at the head for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but it was too high at the foot for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the little wee bear. It was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she covered herself up and fell fast asleep. By this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough, so they came for breakfast. Oh no. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great big bear in his porridge bowl. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the middle-sized bear in her porridge bowl too. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his bowl. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge and has eaten it all up," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the parlor. Goldilocks had left the cushion crooked in the chair of the great big bear. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had squashed down the cushion in her chair of the middle-sized bear. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his chair. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair and has sat right through it," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. Then the bears went into the bedroom. Goldilocks had pulled the pillow of the great big bear out of place. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been laying in my bed," cried the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had pulled the blanket of the middle-sized bear out of place. "Somebody has been laying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then wee little bear looked in his bed. "Somebody has been laying in my bed, and here she is!" cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. This woke up Goldilocks at once. There were three bears all staring at her. Oh my goodness. Goldilocks was so frightened that she tumbled out of bed and ran to the open window, and out she jumped, and she ran away as fast as she could, never looking behind her. No one knows what happened to Goldilocks after that. As for the three bears, they never saw her again. The end. All right, boys and girls, so that was the three bears. Now I'm going to read you the next story, a different version of Goldilocks called Goldie Rocks and the Three Bears. Can you see the cover? Goldie Rocks and the Three Bears is by Corey Rosen Schwartz and Beth Colton, illustrated by Nate Ragg. Goldie Rocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a rock and roll time, three bears and their bear jammed with ease. The papa bear drummed, the mama bear strummed, and the baby bear tickled the keys. But the band didn't have many fans yet, and Papa Bear figured out why. Though we all love to croon and carry a tune, we can't hit the notes way up high. So they set out to find a soprano. Soon after they left, a girl knocked. "Is that porridge I smell? Gee, that would be swell." She checked and the house was unlocked. "A studio! Great balls of fire!" Amazed, Goldie raced through the door. She forgot about food and was now in the mood to hurry on in and explore. The mama bear's mic hit her elbow and Pops reached the top of her head. But Baby's was hiked to just where she liked. "I'll give it a whirl," Goldie said. She grabbed it and she started performing. "Oh, doobie-wop, dum-diddy-doo." She was singing quite well until she stumbled and fell and the microphone stand broke into two. So Goldie said, "I'll try the headphones," but Mama Bear's pair was too tight. The papas were too loose. Gee, these are no use. But Baby Bear's fit her just right. That tune was so catchy, thought Goldie. I'd love to be a part of their band. The guitar was too twangy, the cymbals too clangy. The piano was perfectly grand. Exhausted from moving and grooving, she needed to catch a few Z's. "This day's been a doozy. I'm feeling quite snoozy." She dozed off on Baby Bear's keys. In the meantime, the bears had held tryouts, but no one had blown them away. The hair was too pitchy, the pigs were too twitchy, and Red was just simply okay. The family returned to their cottage, distressed from their lack of success. When they saw the inside, the mama bear cried, "Gad, what a terrible mess!" Uh-oh. "Someone's been using my mic stand. Someone's been using mine too." Then Baby Bear spoke. "Oh no, my stand broke." He started to sniffle. "Boo-hoo." Then Mama Bear looked at her headphones. "Oh, someone has tried my pair on." "Mine too," Papa growled. The parents both scowled. As Baby Bear cried, "Mine are gone." Then Papa said, "Who played my drum set?" And Mama said, "Who plucked my strings?" "Well, who's in my chair?" asked the littlest bear. "She's drooling over all my things." They stared at the slumbering blind girl, and Papa asked, who could she be? He disrupted her dream. She awoke with a scream. The pitch was a perfect high C. The bears asked to hear a whole medley once Goldie recovered from shock. "Amazing," said Mom. Pop grinned, "You're the bomb." And Baby cried, "Goldie can rock." Together they wrote a new ditty. They practiced it into the night, and soon their new jingle became a hit. Too hot, too cold, or just right. Their albums new top all the rock charts. Their albums now top all the rock charts. A countrywide tour has been planned. The fans scream and shout they're crazy about. Goldie Rocks and the Great Three Bear Band. The end. All right, boys and girls, so we have read 2 stories. We've read the 3 bears and then Goldie Rocks and the 3 bears. So now with your parents or with whoever is at home with you, your sisters and brothers, I want you to talk about some of the similarities in the books. That means some things that were the same in those 2 stories. And I also want you to talk about some differences, some things that were different in the 2 stories. I hope that you enjoyed our story time together, even though it was virtual today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.